Screw your freedom.
Consider this your trigger warning. The following program is strictly satire and is not meant to be taken seriously. So don't get all butthurt, you liberal snowflakes, just because we skewer your sacred cows and expose all your lies and hypocrisy. Truth hurts, and so does satire. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and enjoy the show.
Well, everyone, it has been far too long since we all met up. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is the Zoo. It is Sunday Night Live, and I'm back in black. That's right. I got a cup of coffee here from cafefe.com. I've got my trusty bottle of scotch ready to roll. You guys are in control of the show. None of us are in control of the SHTF, but we can be prepared. Florida took quite a beating. The hurricane hit Wednesday night, folks, and hurricanes are exactly what the news shows you. If you live anywhere near the coast, oh, Nelly. Ah, man. Release the Kraken. I got some deplorable coffee with some Kraken in a Prepared Mind merch cup. I'm ready to roll with you guys. You guys direct the show on Sunday Night Live. You got the super chat button up there. Down below, you got Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and the preparedmind.club to make donations and get your questions, your comments right here on screen. And boy, have we got a lot to talk about. I'm waiting on Darcy T's question for the show. So Darcy, get it to me in an email. We got Chin Music. He's also out there. He's ready to roll with a super chat donation to get this show kicked off. I've got a ton of stuff to talk about, folks. I've been gone. I couldn't broadcast. I couldn't. Hurricane fucked everything up. Killed the power. Dead. We got some flooding here at the Prepared Mind bunker. I mean, there was a lot of water, a lot of wind. Look out, lightning, fucking tornadoes. There were like 60 tornadoes in Florida. It was not pretty. And everybody at the time was talking about the manipulation of weather, the manipulation to increase the intensity, the speed, the wind, and the direction of the hurricane. It was incredible. Last Saturday, 8 fucking days ago, regular Saturday, doing a small trip, doing a birthday party for a friend, and got done with it, got in the car, and they said, there's a hurricane. It's developing in all the way by Mexico. And we already know it's going to hit in the Tampa Bay area. And lo and fucking behold, it hit Tampa. What the hell is going on around here is what I think a lot of us are asking. How could they know? It had to make 2 or 3 turns just to get, it went backwards, going the wrong way. What the hell? It followed their prediction, their predictive model to the letter. It was going to go a little more south towards Port Charlotte, which was destroyed by Hurricane Ian. And then it come a little more north and was going to hit St. Pete. And then it went a little more south and was going to take out Sarasota and Venice Beach. It was going to come a little more north, and it just plowed right into fucking Tampa. Crazy business, folks. Crazy business. So let's do it. There's a lot to talk about. And it's like the world, and I don't blame the world, from Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee. I am living in hurricane hell. Hurricane destruction. And I'm tired of hearing about it myself. I'm fucking living it, right? The power literally just came on a couple hours ago. I'm like, holy shit. Now I can actually get to the news. Had no internet access all day long. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Ooh, man, sent me a text message. Calm down, John. Bring it down. Right. Nothing bad was happening. Not that bad anyways. And I've had a couple of cups of coffee to wake my ass up. You don't sleep well when you got your one eye open and one ear to the ground listening. But that's SHTF for you. You've got to be prepared mentally. And I'm prepared mentally, but doesn't make it fun. And folks, as prepared as I was, as I am, as prepared as I am, it was difficult. I would not want to be someone who's not prepared. By the way, please, thumbs up right now. Share that internet address right now. People need to get ready, get set, go. Right? We're going to do this right now. We want to kick the show off. Chin Music has done a super chat donation of $52.43. So basically, that's $50 plus a $243, a very flat shooting, a high quality caliber weapon, the $243. Anyways, and any donation over $50 pours me a 15-year single malt Glenlivet Scotch. Now here's the deal, folks. I had one of my subcontractors come over and he said, "Hey, John, it's going to cost you $3,000 plus to make the repairs. You got some flooding here at the bunker." Woo! Oh, thank you, Mr. Chin. Mother's milk. I haven't touched a scotch since we got the hurricane. And thank you, Uman, for putting Chin Music on here. All right, $3,000 in repairs. Not to mention, it was about $1,000 in last-second preparations just to make sure I had enough of everything, knowing and understanding Hurricane Milton was going to come right at me. The fucking eye was going to just beat the shit out of us. And I knew we'd be out of power for days and days and days. I expected to be out of water for days and days and days. Filled up the bathing unit and a bunch of buckets, tapped lids down on them. Lots of water, folks. Got to have water for bathing, drinking, dishes, whatever. Drinking like a fish. Woo! There was a bit of cracking at the bottom of that. Anyways, thank you, Chin Music, for the great donation. It'll help us pay for a lot of this disaster relief. And as prepared as I am here in the Prepared Mind bunker, we took a hit. We took a hit. Like I said, there's $3,000 in damage. The insurance, you can have hurricane insurance. Guess what? It only counts if your roof gets ripped off. Do you see a roof here? It only counts if a window gets broken. Do you see any windows here in the bunker? So what the point is, what the fuck is the point of having hurricane insurance? I thought it was for, flooding, water intrusion. They're like, nope. Flooding is flood insurance. Water intrusion is water intrusion, water damage. It's just the insurance business. They're as bad as the U.S. government at fucking people over. Crazy business. Anyways, let's get to Chin Music super chat donation. Get this show on the road. You guys, you got something to say? I'll get you on the screen, make you famous. Hit that super chat button up there and we'll do it. So Chin Music says, most likely won't be able to watch today. He also sent me a message letting me know that he has mixed martial arts students who are getting certified. Chin Music, folks, is a hard-working mofo. He's out there 7 days a week training others, getting prepared, being politically active. He is essentially a role model for even me to try and follow, to try and keep up with, right? We all need to be super active in public with other people, preppers, conservatives, teaching, instructing, getting involved in this election. Folks, it's getting crazy, getting absolutely crazy. Anyways, Chin Music says, most likely won't be able to watch today. They knew a society of strong men would never accept this shit. What shit is Chin Music talking about? Drag queens, gender changes, teachers, fruitcake trainee teachers, the pride bullshit, the Cerveza bug BS, the Jim Jones juice BS, destroying our military, open southern border, foreign gangs in this country. Have I said enough? We wouldn't accept all of this crap, lying to us, presenting Marxism to us as if it's a good thing. Kamala and her, we need to undo what we have done and blah, 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 all that crap, right? Yeah, they knew we wouldn't accept it, right? And Chin Music says, that's why they attacked masculinity first. Also, not sure if you saw the Walls with No Balls interview on ABC. I was not able to watch Tim Walz. I was able to catch, once I got power back, what it was he was trying to say. What a clown he is. And so Chin Music says, good God, man. He may be a bigger retard than her, meaning Kamala. If you can believe that. Chin says, I think the stupid is definitely an airborne virus when commie Democrats get together. Okay, let's go back to his first statement, if possible, Mr. Uman. That's why they attacked masculinity first. Here's another piece of the pie that I really want to get out to everyone. The government, the CDC, or is it the National Institutes of Health, has been talking about fluoride in the water lowers IQ of children. They need to get that out of the water, right? So number one, trying to dumb us down with that shit. Number two, all the soy in foods, with the exception of soy sauce, which is fermented, soybeans, soybean oil, aka vegetable oil, and other oils are loaded with estrogens, plant estrogen. I'm a male. I need testosterone to be masculine, to be toxically masculine, right? Do you want a giant wimp as a man? Well, the Democrats do. But what they knew is they attacked masculinity first, but not just socially, politically, in entertainment. No, they did it to us with soy and other estrogen-laden petrochemicals. A lot of the, you may not know this, I've talked about it years ago, but antibacterial soaps have an estrogen-based, right, an estrogen-based germ killer. So you wash your hands, you're putting estrogen. Make sure, in my opinion, I don't use any antibiotic or germicidal hand soaps. I let the soap wash off with water. Germs go away. I don't need an antibacterial estrogen soap on my hands. I don't need soy oil, soybeans, soy meal, fucking none of that shit. That, I mean, can you explain? Is there any other way to explain the unmasculine, immasculine, demasculinated, emasculinated male population, the increase in homosexuality, soft-spoken, pussified men? Now, if you want to win an argument, ladies, you may want one of these soft, wimpy fucking men. But if you want a man who can take charge, go out there, risk his fucking life, and make shit happen, then you need a real man. That's what the military's for, right? You need real men in there. You don't need look, before the hurricane, I saw this fucking news story where this clown, this army clown, was mad because he wasn't allowed to wear makeup. He, a male, wasn't allowed to wear makeup while in uniform. He, a fucking supposed man. Yeah, you're right. A society of strong men won't accept this shit. So they poisoned us with soy, they poisoned us with estrogen, and then they tried pushing all of this gay shit and shoving it down our fucking throats. Well, they attacked masculinity first, and it has failed. It has. It has absolutely failed. Chin Music, you are correct. They tried it, and it failed. Women are rejecting men, completely rejecting men as complete and total losers. These emasculated fucking weenies. They've got no drive. They've got no power. They've got no stamina. They've got no strength. They're fucking sissies. Oh, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get nasty, folks. About the about the most masculine soy boys are the transgenders. And it's only because they're mad. It's only because they're mad. All right. They're mad that no one will call them women. These fucking fruitcakes. Anyways, thank you very much, Mr. Chin Music. Mr. Uman, I'm now going to go to what I wanted to be the lead story. Trump has had one shooter shoot him through the ear. Kapow. He had a second shooter waiting at a golf course, spent the night in the bushes, all set up with a GoPro to film his attempt to kill the president, Trump. There was a pipe bomb or two outside of one of his rallies that was happening. The press played it down. Everyone stayed calm with it. They tried saying it was a training bomb. Why would you put a training bomb anywhere near a Trump rally? And now we've had another assassin alert. This is yet a fourth assassination attempt. A fourth. Now the media is calling it 2 or 3, right? Well, unless they shoot at him, it's not an assassination attempt. Yes, it is. Outside of the Coachella rally in California that Trump held, he held a massive rally in California over the weekend. And a Democrat, communist pile of shit, showed up with a fake VIP pass, a fake press pass, and was armed heavily. He was there to try and kill Trump. That would have been the third shooter, the fourth attempt. 2 shooters and a bomb, and now a fourth or a third shooter, a fourth attempt. And Kamala Harris and Joe Blow Biden and the mainstream media and the deep state DC butt pirates keep encouraging Democrats to try and kill Trump, try and assassinate him. They go right on the news and start talking up a bunch of shit. We need to eliminate him. We need to erase him. We need to remove him forever. He needs to be taken out. All of their expressions. Remember that first attempt? They actually yelled at Trump and said, hey, he didn't come out and condemn political violence and all violence. He should have done that instead of yelling, fight, fight, fight. He did exactly what he should have done. His reaction was genuine. Took a bullet through the ear and he was pissed. Folks, if you ever get hit in the jaw, slapped on the face, smacked with a board, I get smacked with boards a lot. You stub your toe even. You back into a sharp object. Your reaction is real. It hurts and I'm pissed, right? Fight or flight. If you're getting hit, you're not going to run away. It's time to fight. When I get hurt, I'm ready to punch someone. Right? So Trump came up swinging his fist. Fight, fight, fight. Right? And what? The media antagonizes him, criticizes him, and then what? Then what? They go through all of that. Right? They go through all of that. And then they go, well, you got to be nonviolent, man. You can't just say, you can't do that. And then they start encouraging violence again, saying he's a threat to democracy. Trump's a threat to democracy. He's a tyrant. He's Hitler. He's Hitler-esque. He's evil. He's going to take everyone's rights. By the way, speaking of taking people's rights, and the Democrats fear they won't be able to get abortions, did you know that if you kill, right, if you negatively kill sea turtle eggs, I think that's like $100,000 fine and a year in jail. If you mess with a bald eagle's nest, mess up their eggs, I think it's $250,000 and like 2 years in prison. So if you kill an unborn turtle or an unborn eagle, see, they're unborn. It doesn't say unalive. Unborn turtle, unborn eagle. you go to jail. If you kill an unborn baby, no problem. An unborn human, no problem. Just what the fuck is going on? Now, I'm going to tell you something. I just got a massive, massive super chat donation from Darcy T. And I really want to thank her because I need all the help I can get. Like I said, we took a huge hit here at the bunker. We got $3,000 in damage and about $1,200 in hurricane prep, last second stuff, everything we could get to get ready. And anyways, Darcy T has done a $500 super chat donation through PayPal. Thank you very, very much, Darcy T. That's going to help tremendously. It's going to help tremendously. There's a lot of good people out here fighting. We just topped 300 people live, by the way. Anyways, Darcy T, she says, good evening, John. With all of the crises that are continually coming our way, what do you think they will throw at us next prior to the election? Do you foresee any obvious issues with the election process itself? Number one, I'm shocked. Thank you so much, Darcy, for the amazing donation. I'm going to first toast to you and thank you for supporting the channel, supporting me and the bunker and all of us. It's really been, in a lot of ways, like a nightmare, but it gave me a good taste of what's coming. There's a lot more shit coming, and your questions are very relevant and pertinent. She says, salute, and I say, semper fi. Oh, thank you. Now, ooh, that was good. It's good to be back with you guys. Good to be back. What do I think they will throw at us next prior to the election? Remember that Hillary Clinton said there's an October surprise coming. And she also said that you and me, calling us deplorables was too generous, meaning it's too kind. It wasn't enough. She should have said even worse about us. And that is the former First Lady, the former Senator, the former Secretary of State, and the former presidential candidate. I am none of those things, especially a former First Lady. I'm none of those things. So I can say what I want. I don't have a public image in the political world to worry about. So I can just be just as rank as I want. But for Hillary Clinton to say that kind of shit, right? I'm expecting a lot more, Darcy. Right now, there is another potential hurricane that is coming into the Caribbean and heading north into Florida. Another week and a half, we'll know. October surprise, steering 2 freaking hurricanes into the Florida area and also destroying the Appalachian area. That's a surprise. But what else could there be? What else could there be? I believe we're going to have terror attacks. They are losing so badly, the Democrats. Kamala Harris is a complete joke. A complete joke. Over the weekend, it was relayed to me that there's 2 problems with the Democrat ticket. Number 1, serious allegations and accusations that Tampon Timmy, Twinkle Toes Timmy Walls, Democrat vice presidential candidate, he's being accused of having sex with underage boys. But hey, folks, as far as the Democrats go, that's right up their alley. They want pedophilia normalized. They even have a term for it, minor attracted person. There's nothing wrong with it. They want to pass laws so that adults can have sex with children. They want that. So Tampon Timmy is now being exposed. They're coming for him. On top of that, Kamala Harris is a complete moron. I know Chin Music brought up Tim Walz's interview. He sounded like a complete idiot. He can't answer questions. He has no idea what he's saying. We'll have to talk more about this. Right? He sidestepped questions, called himself a knucklehead again. Well, I'm a knucklehead. No, that doesn't excuse you for your crimes and for your anti-American attitude and ideas. That doesn't cut it, buddy. Right? But they've got another problem, Kamala Harris. Every time she goes and does a speech, other people leak camera shots, photos of teleprompters. She's not speaking without teleprompters. We're catching her holding her earring, holding her ear like, got to get my message from my earpiece, right? The microphone in my ear, the little speaker telling me what to say, right? The way she listens and then talks and then stops and listens, gets some more information from her little ear and then talks a little more. She's full of shit. She's an abject moron. When her teleprompter went down during one of her speeches, which is supposed to have a teleprompter, all she did was prattle, rattle, and word salad the shit out of everyone. Right? I don't expect her to be a speaking genius, to be able to just sit in a chair and talk for 2 hours without a script. I don't expect her to be that smart, but good golly, she doesn't even have one topic that she can speak without notes being put in front of her. Not a topic at all. Right. So one of the thoughts was they're going to replace Kamala with Hillary. That came up. Now, is it true? I don't know. Is it possible? At this point, anything is possible. They took a presidential candidate, a president and a man who served as president, vice president, senator, and congressman his whole life as a worthless Democrat, Joe Biden, and kicked him out of the, they threatened him. Nancy Pelosi admitted that she threatened him and told him he has to step down or else. Unprecedented, historical shit. And they put Kamala in there thinking that we were just going to buy that shit. Oh, they talked about all kinds of other potential candidates, but Hillary, Obama, and the rest of the Democrats thought, no, Kamala's the best case, right? The best. I guess they thought that everyone was going to buy her, that she's a black woman, Democrat. No, sorry. Not good enough. Not good enough. So, are they going to replace? When it comes to, Darcy T says, what do you think they'll throw at us next prior to the election? I'm expecting them to change candidates again to try and get rid of Kamala. Well, she can't just step down. She's going to have an accident. An accident. She's going to have a big accident. Fall down the stairs, choke on a hot dog. That's hard to believe. She's had a lot of hot dogs in her mouth, right? But yeah, that's coming, folks. There's a big potential of that. I really believe a terrorist action, maybe even a false flag terror / dirty bomb explosion. Maybe some refineries get bombed. Military bases get attacked. They need, folks. They need World War III. They want and need that, folks. They need it big time. Wow. Woo. Scotch is getting to me. And now, Darcy, in the second part, she said, do you foresee any obvious issues with the election process itself? Yes. Number one, election voting machines. They're continuing to complain, to try and sue, to get rid of them. And they've had 4 years. And the Republican Party has not gotten rid of them in all the states. Those can be hacked. They can add votes. They can swap votes. Expect that kind of bullshit. Expect that kind of bullshit. But if they do that, Are they going to give Kamala like a 30-point lead? Because in a lot of these races, a lot of these, I'm not even going to call them contested states. They're blowout states with Trump ahead 20, 15, 25 points. They're just going to give Kamala all of that and make it look like she landslide defeated Trump? I don't fucking think so. I'm not buying that. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to allow it. And I will not live. I will not live with a Kamala presidency because she is losing bad. So election process itself, oh yeah, and folks, the states are fighting, state parties are fighting to get rid of these mail-in ballots, to make them verify signatures, make them verify addresses, trying to make the Democrat areas require them to show identification when you vote. You cannot be an illegal alien and vote. There's a lot of effort out there to make this a real election for American people to vote in. Not illegals, not dead people, not pets. You only get to vote one time. And those are the obvious issues with the process itself. Now, after Trump crushes that stupid bitch, and I believe and predict he will, they won't be able to pull it off. It is going to be too big to rig. The victory is going to be too big to rig because I'm going to be there. You're going to be there. You're going to tell everyone, go vote and vote Trump. Black men and black women, but mostly black men have had it with the Kamala bullshit, with Obama coming out and attacking black men, criticizing them, trying to shame them. Oh, one of the responses, folks, I love Terrence McKenna. Is it Terrence McKenna, Terrence Williams? Anyways, Terrence was out there. Too many names, too much stuff going on. Terrence is out there. He said, look, fuck you, Obama. And I'm paraphrasing, but everyone is saying that. The number of black men on Twitter, black American men, saying, no way, not doing it. Who are you, Obama? And I'm going to paraphrase them and kind of put all their comments together. Who are you, a half-white black man who was born in Kenya, grew up in Hawaii, raised around the world, right? Married a guy. Who are you to tell us to vote for a black woman who isn't even black? I think Diamond and Silk also said the same thing along those lines. They've had it with the bullshit. Asians are being attacked. Anyone who stands up to Kamala and makes a public statement, if they're in sports, entertainment, media, they get attacked, and people are like, they get attacked, picking on them for being Asian, black, natives. It's just turning everyone off. It's driving people to Trump. Because when you come over and become a Republican and you say, I want my rights, right to free speech, I want all my rights respected. I want government contained. I want lower taxes, lower costs, right? No more inflation. I want my standard of living returned to normal. That's what they want. And so they're going to have to try and cheat Darcy. But get this, after Trump defeats them, because all Kamala and Tim and Hillary and Obama have done is piss everyone off. So after, I believe, Trump just trounces the bitch, the Democrats are going to put up a fight in D.C. They're going to try and stop the Electoral College. Oh, they're attacking the Electoral College. They're going to try and stop the January 6th process and claim that Trump cheated. It's coming. And then when it gets to the inauguration day, they're going to try and interfere with that. Wait, isn't that interfering with official government duty? Isn't that a crime? Nancy Pelosi and her ilk and her minions are going to be out there trying to fuck everything up. I expect terror action after terror action. Folks, Antifa, BLM, the pro-Palestinian protesters, the pro-Hamas protesters, they're waiting. They're chomping at the bit to be turned loose for violence. In Portland, Oregon, the police are already saying, On election night, we're going to have to be out in full force. Antifa is already letting us know they're going to be burning the fucking city. It is coming. Antifa knows they're going to lose. BLM knows they're going to lose. The Palestinians, they know they're going to get kicked out. The illegal aliens know they're going to get deported. And I think it's smart of Trump to use all of these things to say, we're getting rid of the problems. We're going to clean house. We're going to fix this shit. That's become part of his actual policy. Hey, these are the things we're going to do. Kamala's over here with platitudes and bullshit. Oh, I'm a woman. Come and vote for me. That doesn't cut it, bitch. Right? You have to have something to vote for other than Marxism and destruction. Everything she wants is Marxism and destruction of America. So she can't tell anyone what she wants to do. Whereas Trump says, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to get rid of the illegals. We're going to get rid of the scum. We're going to get rid of the terrorists. We're going to clean this country up. We're going to fix the military. We're going to fix the economy. We're going to seal the border. Right? We're going to cut your taxes. We got Elon Musk. We're going to cut spending. One of the biggest things that could fix our country is to cut the spending. Cut out the pork. Cut out the bullshit. Cut out the red tape. Cut out the bureaucracy. Cut. Fire people. Sorry, go get a fucking job in the private sector. Well, who's gonna pick our vegetables and who's gonna build houses if it's not the illegals? Send the illegals out. Everyone who has a government job that's not useful or purposeful, you're fired. You go pick lettuce. You go pick tomatoes. You go build houses with John. Oh, Nelly. Anyways, Darcy T, thank you again for the great super chat donation. Wow. Just wow. Oh, I tell you. Okay. Mr. Uman, do you have anything that's on your mind? Anything that you want to get off your chest? It's been a few days. It has. It's been a few days. And it is Inigo Montoya, and he's back. This week he is the broke stacker with a $4.99 super chat donation. He says, I don't have insurance. I have assurance. I'm assured that I will get screwed and left on my own. If the property that the bunker is on has insurance, folks, it's pointless. It's pointless. It is. What I have assurance of, just like you, Mr. Stacker, is you get screwed. You get absolutely screwed. Hey, if you were affected by the hurricane, either Helene or Milton, guess what? The government will loan you $750 that you can pay back. Why would I want that? Right? Why would I want that? Yeah, we're all going to get screwed. We can only count on ourselves. Now, in Florida, I'm actually pleased and proud to say that Governor DeSantis, I think, has done an incredible job with not one, but two fucking hurricanes and possibly a third. He had help prepared, set up, equipment, manpower, replacement, parts, vehicles, everything that was needed to deal with an entire state that was being destroyed. Oh, by the way, both the hurricane and all these fucking tornadoes chewed up acres and acres and acres and acres and fucking acres, folks, of solar power plants. Right? All this green energy solar power, just like in the great state of Texas, that had a hailstorm destroy acres and acres and acres and acres of solar panels with hail balls coming down and smashing them. We had a hurricane and tornadoes come through and wipe these fucking things out. Not good. I have an assurance that our energy costs are going to go up. We need baseline, right? Base power, energy, nuclear fucking power. It's green, or as green as anything. But that's going to take years, folks. I'm back. I'm buckling the seatbelt. I'm fastening in. We got a hell of a ride. As far as being a broke stacker there, Mr. Montoya, I do not think being a stacker means what you think it means. To be a stacker means you're saving wealth, right? Saving wealth. And this coming week, if all the predictions that I have in my head come true, as a stacker, you will be rewarded, and it's coming. It is both gold and silver. I don't really pay much attention to platinum and palladium, but gold and silver are now set to go bonkers. India, China are back to start buying. Tomorrow, Columbus Day, New York City stock market's closed, but the rest of the world can get in there and drive up prices. And no one's going to be there to short sell it. It has just been an incredible shit show. If you watch gold and silver, that tells you the strength of the dollar. The dollar, they're pushing higher, but gold and silver don't sell off. It's completely the opposite of what normally happens. It shows you that the dollar is weak. Confidence in the dollar is weak. Other currencies may be crashing compared to the dollar, but so they're all weak and shitty. We've got one hell of a world coming, folks. Are we gonna have bank failures? A lot of people think so. Is your money safe if you have any money, or have you invested in things that, well, have a great return of rate of return, like food? If your food, shall we say, inflation is 5%, is that bad? I think it's bad. How about 10, 15, 20% increase in food costs year on year? Some people are 50, some people are 100. It depends on what food product. Let's just say the average is, let's be generous and say we've only had a 15% increase in food costs. If you buy stock in New York City, right, from the stock market, are you going to make a 15% return? Well, maybe. If you put it someplace cool like I don't know, Apple, Nvidia, Ferrari. I've heard some people have done well with Ferrari. Anyways, 15% is not a bad thing. So you can invest in food, gold, silver, ammunition, right? Because inflation is going to make them more valuable faster than they're destroying the value of the currency. In any event, there we go. All done with that. Mr. Uman, let's move on to the next super chat donation. Who's up next? Who are we going to talk with? We've got it is Rhinoceros with a $4.99 super chat donation. Now, he says, isn't it funny that no one mentions the multiple attempts before and after he became commander-in-chief in 2016? No one seems to mention that. Well, it wasn't really played up. It wasn't as in our faces. I really think the mainstream media wants to talk about it because they want to encourage more assassination thoughts, beliefs, and talk. I think that's really what they want to do, is they want to make it. That's why mainstream media, Biden, Kamala, keep calling Trump Hitler. He's Hitler-esque. He's a white supremacist. Right? He wants to, I mean, it's incredible that over the last week I heard that he wants to kill all black people and gays and everyone, unbelievable. There were threats. I don't know how successful the attempts were in 2016. That was that was 8 years ago. 8 years ago. Oh my goodness. Commander-in-chief. We need a commander in Trump, right? A Trump-in-chief. It's going to be a mess, folks. Just be sure and get as prepared as you can. Don't get caught off guard. Okay, as hard as having no power and everything was, knowing I had food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and my plan, I survived. If you aren't prepared, you're screwed. All right. Thank you, Rhinoceros. Very good. And Heidi has done a $50 CashApp super chat donation. So, Heidi, get your question into Mr. Uman. Do an all caps or something so he can find it. He's only got two hands, Mr. Uman, and he's holding like 5 tools trying to get stuff done and behind the scenes. And there she is. Thank you very much, Mr. Uman. You bet she did for the repairs. And we got it, like I said, about $3,000 plus in repairs. That's okay. That's okay, right? We'll make it. And you guys, thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, it'd be a lot rougher. It'd be tough. I'd be walking through mud on a daily basis. Anyways, thank you, Heidi. Any thoughts you want to go over? And a shot. Ooh, I almost forgot. Thank you, Mr. Uman. This is it's the shot glass that took a shot, right? The shot glass that took a shot. And Mr. Uman, I hope you're not trying to get me sauced, man. They told me I got to go back to work tomorrow. They're like, hey, you got power, John? You can go back to work. We got a shit pile of houses for you to fix. And when I say a shit pile, folks, the number of trees, look, one of my bosses had lost 2 cars. Not 1, but 2. The shot is for emotional healing. Thank you, Mr. Uman, for caring so much. You're awesome, brother. And thank you, Heidi, for this, for medicinal purposes, to help me relax. Semper Fi to you, and you up there, up north, stay prepared as well. Woo, 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 woo. Wow. Like mother's milk, I tell you. I do. Now, Darcy T sent me another video, and it falls under the Pfizer files. So bear with me real quick. All right. An Italian was competing in the Masters category, age 65 to 69. Not a young guy, not a spring chicken, right? Not a spring rooster. He was in his 60s, but in order to compete in the 2024 UEC Gravel European Championships, this Italian rider, I believe a bicyclist, suffered a heart attack. Now he's competing in the Masters class. Is this Jim Jones juice? Or is this, it's just an old guy having a heart attack? Look, when you're in good shape, you shouldn't be having heart attacks all the time. Now, I know that athletes, when we get older, you can still have a heart attack and be in great shape. I get it. But literally, I want everyone to think, and thank you, Darcy, for bringing this one up and this point, is the number of cancer cases has exploded since the Jim Jones juice started. A report came out the other day that out of all the kids that had myocarditis, 99.9% of them had the Jim Jones juice. One report said not one myocarditis case was with a kid who did not have it. In other words, it has attacked children, teens, preteens, and that's enlarged heart, folks. Myocarditis, pericarditis. There's just tons of problems, and it's continuing. Infertility rates have spiked and continue to stay high. Right? Fertility problems, carrying babies to term. But the cancer is just off the hooks. The clots, the strokes. You can't just say, well, they're in their 30s, they're in their 40s. Of course there's going to be heart attacks. Of course there's going to be strokes. No, and no. That is just way too much. And it's all the levels are spiking, folks. And guess what? There are counties in California. In fact, where Jolene, the prepared mother's at, up in the Bay Area, Northern California Bay Area, guess what? They're starting to do mask mandates starting in November. We don't even have cerveza bug. We don't have any problems. There's no problems out here. They want to have a monkeypox. They want to have a bird flu. They want to have an avian flu, a swine flu. They want some kind of flu, bat flu. They want some kind of flu so they can scare us and then give power and authority to an international organization of death and give them control over us? No, thank you. You can all fuck off. We, meaning me and all of you who want to join me, I'm not taking any Jim Jones juice. I'm not locking down. I'm not wearing a mask. They can all fuck off. Now, let's continue with the show. It is Sunday Night Live. We are almost at 400 people. Thumbs up if you haven't thumbs up. Share the internet address if you haven't shared the internet address. It's Sunday Night Live. It is the Zoo, and it's your show on YouTube, subscribestar.com, and thepreparedmind.club. Everyone's here together, and Mr. Uman, who is up next? And once again, it is Rhinoceros with a $4.99 super chat donation. And he wants to quote Hillary Rodham Clinton on being questioned about her involvement in Benghazi and the death of American patriots and warriors. She said, "At this point, what difference does it make?" Oh, yeah. Now, if you remember Benghazi, right? The embassy was overrun. They were under attack, taking RPG fire, full auto attack, full auto machine gun fire. And these brave men, servicemen, right, were trying to protect the people there. They lost their lives. Lost their lives. Thank you, Uman. Lost their lives. And instead of being responsible and explaining herself, Hillary had to be dragged into committee where she said, "At this point, what difference does it make?" Yeah, they're all dead. What difference does it make is you are still in power. You're still in authority, Hillary. You shouldn't be in anywhere near a position of power and authority where you could allow that shit to happen again. And in fact, folks, President Putin of Russia this weekend has come out and said, "Hey, Libya, NATO authorized the assassination, murder, and removal of Muammar Gaddafi." They made a unilateral decision on their own behalf to steal Libya from the Libyans and turn it into a vassal state of Europe so that they could get cheap oil. That's exactly what they did, folks. Right? So you got Hillary in Benghazi, you got Europe killing Gaddafi, and then Libya was turned into a shithole rather than an emerging market economy, because that's what it was trying to become. What difference does it make now? You're right. Fuck everyone. Everyone got killed that needed to be killed. Europe got its oil, got its control. In fact, I caught this. We just went way over 400 folks live. Nice. Thank you. Now, right, they said, guess what? You can buy a black slave in Libya for, guess what the price is? I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I saw this in the media, $400. And I was disgusted to see a video of an Arab-looking man beating his black slave who was tied up in a chair. It was horrifying to see that that's what they do. Everyone wants to love the Palestinians. Everyone wants to love all these Muslims. Everyone wants to love all these third world scumbags from Morocco and Tunisia and Libya and everywhere else. No, they are fucking talking about deplorable, folks. And you know who else is in trouble for being deplorable? Tampon Timmy and Kamala. Under the Democrat, and folks, if they want to be the presidential candidates, they need to accept responsibility for what Democrats have been doing while they're in charge. They've lost anywhere from 100,000 to 350,000. 100,000 to 350,000, folks. Children. The accusations are out there that the United States government is responsible for the trafficking and disappearance of these children who have been taken across the border, put in camps, and then they just disappear. Where the fuck did they go? Hillary would say, what difference does it make anyways? It makes a difference. If this is what the government does, that is not a good government. I'm telling you, folks. Look, there's been a call for Tampon Timmy to step down to replace him. Well, I've got the replacement for him. You know, Tim Walz was a teacher. How about this? A Texas preschool teacher. I think he should have been set up to replace Tim Walz due to the allegations of Tim Walz and raping children, and also foreign exchange students that he threatened. But unfortunately, this Texas preschool teacher, he could have been the next VP under Kamala, but he has been arrested. That's right. This Democrat teacher in Texas, he was arrested for paying young boys $200 to make child porn after he contacted them through Snapchat. Folks, Democrat political candidates keep getting arrested for being sick, depraved, perverts, rapists, and pedophiles. Has America and the world learned its lesson yet about globalist, Marxist, Democrat types? And look, it's not just America. Europe has the same exact problems. European countries, the people need to get their leaders under control as well. Same with this country. Folks, Washington, D.C. is not a swamp. It's a fucking sewer. It is full of shit and rats. It is a sewer. It is a fetid, stinking sewer. And it needs to be cleaned. All right, man, enough of my stuff. Let's do it. We got Dan the Man Erickson back this week with a $5 super chat donation. And he says, don't book any airline flights in November because all the people that say they will leave the country when Trump wins will need a plane seat. I'm with you 100%, man. Nope. November, don't book anything. November 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all in November. Wait until Christmas. The planes are going to be full of Democrats leaving the country. And I can't wait. It's going to be great. Bye, Bruce Springsteen. Bye, Johnny Depp. Bye, Madonna. Goodbye to all of them. Get the fuck out. You know why they're going to be leaving? Not because Trump won and they don't like his Republican fiscal policy or his Republican attitude. You know what I think? I think they're afraid that they're going to be rounded up and arrested for their association, for their connection to Jeffrey Epstein, P. Diddy, all of the pizza and hot dog parties with the Obamas. They're a bunch of sick people. I really want the evidence to come out. I'm tired of these games being played with. I'll release the names. We have that. We know that. We know you've got the names. Release them. The best way to hold these people accountable is to release the information to public. If it's information that shows a crime, get it out there. I mean, if someone robs a bank, right? Imagine if I robbed a bank. I go into the bank with a gun, I rob it, give me your money, and I go out the bank, security cameras, right? People with cell phones, police with body cams, fucking helicopters watching me. Everyone's going to see that I'm the one leaving the bank with a gun and a bag full of money. They all know I've committed a crime. They know it's me. That doesn't mean when I get to court, I'm going to go, hey, this is not fair. All of this evidence to convict me. Same with P. Diddy and supposedly Kanye West and every other one of these fucking scumbags out here. If you're involved with these people, the Hillary Clintons, the Jeffrey Epsteins, the Jizzy Maxwells, the Obamas, if you're involved with them and Hollywood elites, Hollywood producers, Hollywood actors, if you're and you're guilty, put out the information. Let us see it. Give us the names. It's not going to change it any more than if I walked out of a bank with a gun and a bag full of cash. That's why I think they're going to try leaving on November 6th, Dan. I think they're going to want to get out of the country, blame Trump, but they're actually running from potential convictions, which includes that sack of shit. Who am I talking about? The sack of shit I'm talking about is none other than General Milli Vanilli, the disgraced pile of shit. Mr. Boo, white rage is ruining our country. Milli Vanilli, right? Allegedly, reportedly, but I don't know for sure. It's all rumor mill stuff that Mark Milley is afraid Trump is going to recall him to uniform, court-martial him, and throw his ass in jail for treason. And what he did at the end of Trump's term in office, releasing information to the military enemies of America, weakening America, we're going to find out. I wouldn't be surprised if General Milli Vanilli has a first-class seat flying to some third world country to hide. We're going to find out. Folks, it is Sunday Night Live. I am glad to be back. Happy to be back. Happy to have internet again so I can talk with you guys on Sunday Night Live. We're 1 hour into the show, 2 hours total, or I'll stay longer as long as you guys want, because if you did a super chat donation up here, we'll get your question down here and I'll answer them. There is a lot to talk about, a lot of stuff that I didn't miss, but we didn't get to discuss because, you know, hurricanes happen. They happen all the time. They come from across the Gulf of Mexico, fly in the wrong direction. As soon as they're a tropical storm, they instantly know where they're going to hit, and they instantly go all the way up to Category 5. Within 2 fucking days, it goes from a nothing to a 5. I tell you what, folks, the wind blew this way, the wind blew that way. It was some nasty shit. People's roofs got ripped off, floods, destruction. It is awful. Absolutely awful. All right, man, who is up next on the Prepared Mind channel? And it is Nancy Keg with a $20 super chat donation. Thank you, milady. She says, a small help for you, John Semper Fi. And I'll tell you what, everything you guys do, whether it's questions, super chat donations, everything, it is appreciated and it all adds up. Every last one. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Nancy. Semper Fi to you means always faithful. That's what I say as a Marine, and that's what you can say as a non-Marine, because it matters. It matters. It has been probably 7 years since I told someone, another veteran in another military, whether it's Army, Air Force, Navy, where I've said Semper Fi, and they're like, hey, dude, I'm not a Marine. I'm like, I know, it doesn't matter. We're all in this together. If you're a patriot, if you're not a veteran, if you are a veteran, we're always faithful to what we know is right, what we believe. The U.S. Constitution, right here. Declaration of Independence, Constitution, our Bill of Rights, which tells the government, you don't own us. You don't get to control us. You don't get to tell us what to do. Your job as the government is to protect us from enemies abroad, to protect us and prosecute crimes in this country, and to guarantee our rights are protected. But instead we have a government that what? That thinks its job is to try and find loopholes around our protections. That's why I tell Washington, D.C. to go fuck yourself. Anyways, Nancy, thank you very, very much. Semper Fi to you as well. Okay, Mr. Uman, I know we got a lot to discuss, and it's Inigo Montoya. He says, I sent a PayPal and forgot to put a comment, so here it is. All right, right now, the prepared mother is indisposed, so she doesn't know that you sent a PayPal, but I'm going to take your word for it, brother. I can trust you. He says, John, to press on against all of the powers that be, I believe you must be powered by 10% whiskey, 10% spam, and 80% by the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to tell you what, man, I've got the spam good. I've got the whiskey. You guys have made sure I got Scotch whiskey. And when it comes to the Holy Spirit, that's like women are known to have women's intuition. Men, we trust our gut. We trust our gut. You feel it inside of you, right? And if you're a decent person, You don't have to be a holier than thou, holy rolling, religious person, Bible thumping, none of that to have the spirit of goodness, right? Right? To be a good person and feel that power. That's what I'm powered by, is knowing that what I'm saying is correct. I'm crass. I'm crude. Yes, I know I'm not perfect. I get it. But I feel this thing in me that drives me to be here every day with you, right? Except Saturday. I take Saturday off. Saturday is actually the the real day of rest, right? Sunday, day one. Sunday's day one, right? My day of rest is Saturday, the 7th day. Anyways, I know that's neither here nor there for the most part. Who gives a shit? I follow the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you have them do unto you. Anyways, thank you very much, Inigo Montoya. Thank you for the great super chat donation. I know it's out there floating around in space somewhere. But yes, spam. I don't think any Palestinian, Hezbollah, Hamas piece of shit is going to want to get anywhere near me. I'm going to be, instead of having grenades hanging off my my tactical vest, I'll have cans of spam hanging off. I pull the pin, chuck that spam at them. They won't be very happy. Anyways, I'll put a bunch of spam down the barrel, right? Just blow spam out with a bunch of lead and the shotguns. Good stuff. It's going to be a hell of a shit show. And it is a hell of a shit show. Uh-oh. I was telling you earlier that Chin Music is making sure all of his students, right, perform to Sensei's requirements. Anyways, he says, we are fresh out of participation trophies. Good. I don't believe in participation trophies. Never in my life was I given one. I'll tell you what, yeah, when you earn a trophy, it means something. When someone just gives you something, you're like, what the hell is this? Right? What? I didn't win. Why do I get a trophy? And well, no, everyone's a winner. Well, then what's the fucking point? Talk about communism. No wonder all of the millennials out there, not all, I'm sorry, the entitled, liberal, fucked up millennials, not the good conservative ones, right? They want communism. Anyways, wow. Thank you again for that. We got so much going on, folks. We got a ton going on. If you've got something to say, a prediction, thoughts, hopes, fears, historical recollection, anything, your prognostication, hit that super chat button up there, get it on the screen down here, and I'll make you famous. By the time this show gets finished, it's recorded on YouTube and continues to be available. We'll have thousands and thousands and thousands of people watching it. Literally. YouTube wants to kill us, folks. Oh, by the way, while we're also at the 1 hour mark, I'm going to become more active on X, also known as Twitter. The reason is it is a free speech platform, and I want to reach as many people as I can. I'm going to continue to do the Zero Dark 30 afternoons and the zoo, but I'm also going to start putting content out at the Prepared Mind on X, because there's an entire audience out there, I've learned, that talks about all this politics stuff, but they don't talk about getting prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. They think that just talking, being keyboard warriors on X is going to solve the problems. No, you better be prepared. You better be prepared. Woo! Okay, Mr. Uman, who's up next on the Prepared Mind channel? And it is Red Arrow Tinker with a $20 super chat donation. It says, if Nancy can do it, meaning Nancy Kagan, her $20 super chat, I can too. Use toward your repairs, John. Thank you very much, Red Arrow Tinker. $20 super chat right in the old repair account. Oh man, I tell you, through the middle of the night, Wednesday night, water started infiltrating, I'm not going to use the word flooding because you're not supposed to say flood, right? Water boiling up. Getting that shit out of the bunker was a fucking workload. But c'est la vie. That's what happens. And I want to thank you for the great support and helping us get this mess cleaned up and to continue to do what we do on a daily basis, which is shouting from the rooftops, get prepared. It's going to get nasty. This election coming up, folks, the Democrats are just waiting to turn their terrorists loose. They're domestic terrorists, they're imported terrorists, and they're false flag terrorism. It is coming, in my opinion, no doubts. Thank you, Red Arrow Tinker. Thank you. Mr. Uman, who's up next? And it's Chin Music with a $4.99 super chat donation. And get this, he says, Texas has a new 14-year-old black belt. Bam. Very nice. Pow. And he says, and Tim Walls, and all the beta males turn my stomach. Oh, they're disgusting. They're disgusting. Now, even down here in Florida, I go out in public. There's a lot of limp-wristed, skinny jeans wearing fruitcakes. They're here. They're everywhere, but they're here too, even in Florida. And they make me sick. They turn my stomach. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you see a man with a beard and makeup, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And here's what I see. Here's a big part of the problem. I see a lot of these beta cuck males. They're they're screaming for attention. They become these emotional basket cases as men. And so they do everything they can to get attention. Every last one of them. These millennials, Gen Z, and Centennial, all of these younger generations, they can't just be men or women for that matter. They've got to get and do the most insane, obnoxious shit to get attention. They're screaming for someone to give them attention. And then when you give them attention, they get mad, right? It's like, hey, you're a fruitcake. Look at you. Congratulations. They're like, oh my God, I didn't want that attention. You misgendered me. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't have to gender you correctly. You didn't address me as your Highness John. Your Eminence John. King John. No. That's, it's ridiculous. I just fucking laugh at him, right? Just walk away. Thank you, Mr. Chin Music, and congratulations, Sensei, on a student achieving his black belt status. It is very important, very necessary, and it'll mean something to that kid the rest of his life. It literally does. If you've got something you want to talk about, super chat button there, or down below, we've got Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and of course, thepreparedmind.club, our website, thepreparedmind.club, CLUB, not .com, .club. We've got everything you need: food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and even a lot of self-defense tools. Now, I don't have a warehouse. I've got a bunker. But you can hit the links, check things out, shop the prices, thepreparedmind.club. It's your store, folks. We did it for you guys. And you can sign up for daily live chats with me in the afternoon if you hit the premium button at thepreparedmind.club. It's $2 a month. Same with subscribestar.com. $2. Everything goes to keeping the water pumped out of the bunker, keeping the spam in the pantry, and keeping a fair supply of scotch in the cabinet. Thank you, Mr. Uman. Thank you. And where are we going next? I've got so much stuff to talk about. Before I could get... Okay, Dan's back. Dan the man with a $5 super chat donation. He says, I would bet Bill Gates is very concerned with this election. Dan, you nailed it. You fucking nailed it. Bill Gates is one of the biggest Jeffrey Epstein, Lolita Express, Little St. James Island purveyors. He and Bill Clinton spent a lot of time down there with that convicted pedophile, Mr. Epstein. Bill Gates is in big trouble. He may end up having to leave the country. I really think as an international criminal, an alleged international criminal, Bill Gates, folks, there are countries that want to arrest him because of all of his VAXXX that he's done in other countries and injured and killed and sterilized people. He is a huge lover of Jeffrey Epstein's island. People want him arrested for a number of reasons, folks. He has done nothing to help, and he's done everything to destroy. Did you know that right now China is converting their desert into livable land? Bill Gates, if he spent his money instead of trying to destroy the world, trying to save it, he could turn deserts into farmland. The technology exists. China's actually doing it with their, I believe, their Gobi Desert project. I don't want to talk about the Chinese as if they're great fucking people. They're not. But there's some things that the Chinese government's doing that are good, like that, converting the desert into actual green, vegetated, covered land. Let's see. They don't like loud, obnoxious, destructive, terrorist Muslims. And, the way they go about getting, rid of it, not the greatest thing, but they're not going to allow them to march through their streets, terrorize people, rape women, destroy property. Oh, it's incredible what's going on in Europe. Bill Gates, he's perfectly fine with it. What does he care? He'll just go live in one of his fucking mansions somewhere else. He'll be above the fray and above the law, the way the Saudi and other royal princes throughout the Persian Gulf nations, they're not held to the same standard that regular people are. Regular people and Christians that the jihadi Joes out there want to attack. Anyways, yeah, Bill Gates has got a lot of concerns about Trump getting into the White House again. And there's a lot of nations that want Bill Gates to be declared a criminal, a mass murderer, for his participation in a lot of nefarious things. Should I attach the word allegedly on that? I think the evidence is there. I think it is. Yeah, these liberals, folks, they're having trouble, folks. I mean, get this. The show called Morning Joe has Joe Scarborough and Micah, right? Well, there was a Micah meltdown on Morning Joe. Micah fears that if Trump wins, she fears that Trump's going to win. And she says, quote, "It's fair for Democrats to be incredibly depressed. It's fair. It's fair for Democrats to be." You bet it's fair. I'm not going to argue with that. Probably the only true thing the dumb bitch has said all year. Democrats should be incredibly depressed because they're going to lose. And I'd say, good. I'm glad they're depressed. Take your antidepressants, you Democrats, you bunch of heartless anti-American scum who want illegal aliens invading our nations. They want drag queens molesting kids. They want queer porn in schools. They want our economy turned into a communist shithole. Good, Democrats, be incredibly depressed. You ought to be. You absolutely ought to be incredibly depressed. Here we go. Hey, Mr. Ooman, do we have some more super chats out there? 400 people live plus. More than 400 people live. Holy cow. Inigo Montoya's PayPal was $50. $50. I owe him a shot. A shot? I do not think that... I don't think that means what you think it means when we're going to get a shot. I'm not going to get an assassin shot. I'm going to get one of these shots. All right, Inigo Montoya. All righty there. There it is. Glenlivet single malt Scotch whiskey aged in a French oak reserve. It's got just this little bouquet, a little hint of yummy deliciousness. Semper Fi, down the hatch. Cheers, Prost, salut. Well, down we go. Well, take your breath away. Woo! Oh, man. Thank you very much, Inigo Montoya. Oh, man. Keeping me well lubricated here. Very important, right? 10% whiskey, 10% spam, and 80% spirit. There's a lot of spirits there. Anyways, Mr. Uman, where do we go next? Share the internet address, folks. Do it. Dan Erickson with a $2 super chat donation. The Egyptians turned desert into land 5,000 years ago. I agree with you. They did. They were masters of irrigation. The Nile would overflow, but then they learned to irrigate, and the Egyptian empire was incredible. But it disappeared also. I wonder why. A lot of historical information there that is hidden, is lost. I know some of it. Too long to get into it, Dan. But yes, true. Desert can be turned into lush, productive real estate. You got to get rid of the destructive elements in our world, folks. There's a lot of it. I completely love, by the way, speaking of turning things into desert, Gaza has been blasted to the ground by the Israelis. And all of the pro-Palestinian, all of the from the river to the sea, those who want to destroy Israel, they're like, you have turned Gaza into a shithole. Well, wait a minute. They show all the old pictures of Gaza looking great. Hotels, cities, right? Pools, beaches, resorts, clean streets. Now it's obliterated. But I thought, wait a minute. If it had beaches and hotels and clean streets and beautiful buildings and shopping centers, I thought Gaza was an open air prison. How could it be a prison if it was such a beautiful? See, now they want to say it was a beautiful place. It was wonderful. And the IDF military bombed it to shit. Well, you can't have it both ways. It can't be a beautiful paradise and then claim it was also an open air prison. Look, the Egyptians, the Syrians, the Lebanese, the Jordanians, nobody in the Arab world wanted any Palestinians, period. Why? Why not? Why didn't other Muslim nations want Palestinians? Why not? By the way, there's no genocide there. Their population has increased. I spent some time when I had some internet access last week looking at the sites that were being bombed. They're full of weapons, explosives, missiles, bombs. As they dig through these buildings, right, they're finding all kinds of arms and ammunition. The Palestinians, the Hamas guys continually say that women and children are being killed, but they're finding these weapons in schools and hospitals. And look, war is hell. If you want to attack Israel, Israel's going to attack you, and it's fucking shit show. It's hell. It is SHTF. It is SHTF, period. Don't be surprised, right? Don't be surprised. Why should anyone be surprised? When you want war, you get war. Thank you, Dan the Man. And I want to talk about World War III and SHTF right now. The Russians are continuing to advance and push the Ukraine military out of eastern former Ukraine. Those oblasts, now they're fucking states. They're areas, they're provinces that were once part of Ukraine, but they voted and said, we want to be part of the Russian Federation. We no longer want to be part of Ukraine because of what Ukraine was doing to them, sending in Ukraine military to kill ethnic Russians. So the Ukraine and ethnic Russians voted and said, no more corrupt Voldemort Zelensky, no more corrupt Kiev. We want you out. And now, folks, didn't we just hear 2 weeks ago, three weeks ago? Remember when the Ukraine military invaded Russia and went into Kursk? Pardon my pronunciation. And everyone's like, oh, they're going to advance on Moscow. They're going to attack. They're going to win. Well, they've been retreating and getting their asses kicked. The Russians have now conquered, and forgive me, I'm going to butcher the names of these areas and cities. Mikhailivka, which is near Seledov and Pokrovsk. Fuck, I am not a good Russian pronunciator, right? And the reports are that Ukraine, the military, is evacuating, full-scale retreat out of these areas that were once part of Ukraine. And Russia is just going to follow them out. I don't think Russia is going to be stupid and overextend themselves chasing them. I think Russia is going to move systematically. They're going to make sure they secure the territory. I don't think they're going to walk into a trap. They're not going to get hit with a pincher or a counter strike that's going to annihilate them. The media has been what I would call almost criminally silent with respect to what's going on in Ukraine. Now, speaking of Ukraine and Voldemort Zelensky, he's been in over Europe begging for money again. How much money do they need to lose a war? It's over, folks. It is absolutely going to be over. Trump is going to take office, please, right? And Putin is going to say, if you want peace, we'll do peace. It's just a matter of time. At this point, it's a matter of time. I tell you, Mr. Uman, who wants to step up next? We're 90 minutes into the show. They need all the money they can get. Oh, Uman's correct. They need all the money they can get. And I want to thank Uman. He's been hard. He's doing double duty today in the zoo. Double duty. He's scooping shit and feeding the animals. Double duty. Uman is out there behind the scenes. Red Arrow Tinker back with $1.99 super chat donation. If you have something to say, super chat donation. That button's right up there. You can talk about the past, the future, where we're at now, how to be prepared, how to not be prepared, what steps you should take. You can talk about rural, city, south, north, east, west, desert, cold, hot. If you anything about prepping, getting ready, what you expect. Will the National Guard become part of the election, part of the inauguration? Will the National Guard be called in on January 6, 2025? Will the National Guard be used in a martial law scenario against you guys? That's right, against you, by calling you terrorists, calling me a terrorist. Well, in the state of Florida, I don't have any fears. I do not believe that Republican Governor DeSantis would use the National Guard to come after patriotic Americans, hunters, sportsmen, veterans, and try and stop us from what? Being free? But I bet up in states like Michigan, Minnesota, California, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, New York, I bet they would love to go in and start hammering away and confiscating firearms and calling patriots terrorists. I bet. Anyways, Red Arrow Tanker, thank you for the super chat donation, and says this: let the libs release their terrorists. That's a great code word. I can say the word terrorist, but you can't write it. So you wrote terrorists. Yeah, let the liberals, let them release their terrorists. After all, it is hunting season. That is good. Hunting season. That's pretty funny. Hunting season. Oh, yeah. Tampon Timmy Walls wanted to try and look like an alpha male. And he had a big photo op. Look at what I do. he was going duck hunting, right? Is it duck season or wabbit season? Anyways, he literally placed the butt of his shotgun in his groin, trying to load it. The guy, he looked like that was his first day ever handling a firearm. I thought he was supposed to be in the military at some point. Anyways, he didn't know how to load a shotgun. And then, on top of everything else, and it is hunting season, and all the terrorists, you guys are fine targets if you want to try and be terrorists and pull an insurrection. I think patriotic Americans, whether they're sportsmen or veterans, would love to make sure that you terrorists like Antifa, Hamas, Palestinians, BLM, you're not going to terrorize us. You can try, but we're going to help law enforcement maintain control. Anyways, I think Tampon Timmy had a shotgun, and he put in too many rounds. That's right. You're only supposed to have 3 rounds in a hunting shotgun while you're out hunting. So I think there's some people looking into whether or not he violated the law. I don't actually think he did, because I don't think he was actually there to hunt. No, I think it was just a photo op. But what an asshole Tim Walz is. He's got a lot of trouble, folks. I know earlier that Chin Music talked about him and his word salad delivery when he was doing his mainstream media. He really wanted to ban so-called misinformation and hate speech. He is, I'm going to call him pedophile putz. He's the pedophile putz. Anyways, on mainstream media, Fox, he was on Fox TV, Fox News. Old Twinkle Toes, you know, the minor attracted person, allegedly, he wouldn't directly admit what he says in rallies about destroying free speech. Right? He didn't want to answer the question about banning the First Amendment, about destroying free speech. He wanted to talk about misinformation and hate speech. Right? But in rallies and in conversations, he talks about just eliminating the First Amendment, right? Your day is coming, Tampon Timmy. Your day is coming. This has been one heck of a return to Sunday Night Live in the zoo with you guys. I'm so glad I've got internet. I've got electricity. We're back in business, back at it, back to prepping, back to talking about what's going on. Share the internet address so people you know, friends, family, hey, even send the address to communists, Democrats that you know, so they can get an earful of what they should be listening to instead of listening to the mainstream media and Kamala and their echo chamber of retarded communist bilge. All right, Mr. Uman. And by the way, drink deplorable coffee at www.cafefe.com, and you see the little dashes in there. Good coffee. There it is. You have an affiliate link. You get 10% off with the code prepared10. Folks, good coffee. I'll be having another cup of that tomorrow when I go back to work. 0 dark 30. 0 dark 30. Woof. It's been a few days since they got me out there. But Dan Erickson, Dan the man, is back with another $10 super chat donation. And you can get on the screen here with the super chat donation there. It's a super chat button, gets you on the screen, and I'll make you famous. And Dan the man is famous. He says, I would imagine Trump sitting down with Putin and Zelensky in a neutral country and find a peace deal. I think that should happen. I think it's going to happen. I bet Kamala Harris or Joe Biden might try and steal that ham bone from Trump. See, that it would have been the perfect thing to do. Prior to the election, they should have done it 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and said, look, Zelensky, you're losing. You're killing your fucking people. Zelensky is committing genocide against his own people by forcing them into the military and sending them to get killed by the Russian war machine. But get this, Biden and Kamala could have put together a peace summit, knowing they're going to lose instead of trying to get the last few billions of dollars of money laundering and bribes and payouts. Well, that's all they give a fuck about, folks. But they could have, if they really cared about America and really wanted to be reelected, they could have brokered a peace deal between Putin and Zelensky, and they could have come on TV and been heroes. Look, we know the war happened. We tried supporting Ukraine, but we need peace, peace, peace. They could have looked great. They could have actually shut down the border and cleaned that fucking mess up a year ago. They could have said, oh, mistakes were made, problems were there, but we got it fixed in time for the election and looked like heroes. They could have stopped doing all this radical anti-American bullshit and looked like heroes and gone into the election and fought tooth and nail and had a chance. But they're fucking idiots and they hate America, and their job, shake down every country they could, send as much as they could to Zelensky so they could wash it and hide it in their offshore bank accounts. Folks, people like Gates and the Biden cartel, they need to have all their bank accounts frozen. They should have an investigation. Any evidence of wrongdoing, which has been found, by the way, have their bank accounts frozen. Have their bank accounts frozen by the U.S. government. If they can freeze Russia's bank account, and they did, hundreds of billions of dollars they froze. They can froze these scumbag politicians like Mittens Romney. Oh, yeah, I'll name the Republicans. Mitch McConnell, Turtles. How about Kevin McCarthy? How about all the fucking sellouts in the government? They need to have their accounts frozen while they're being investigated. You can hold Americans in Washington, D.C. in horrid third world prison conditions in the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police gulag. Hold them for years, since January 6th of 2021. No trial, abuse, torture. Destroy their lives. You can arrest these crooked politicians and hold them. And I want a quick and speedy trial for them. No fucking around. Oh, I'll give you a speedy trial, Hillary and Obama. Woo! Oh, it came out. Apparently, now that Obama's daughters, his daughters, have all grown up, they don't look anything like Barack and Michael. They seem to look like some friends of theirs. In fact, the report is they look a lot like some friends of theirs. Kind of like, well, if Michael doesn't have a uterus, then they need to adopt some children. Anyways, Dan, the man, is back. Oh, wait, I just did that one. We got more super chats. Mr. Uman, who is up next? Pow. It's Chin Music with a 1999. We're going to party like it's 1999 when we get done with this election and we stomp the livers out of the Democrats. Chin says, John, it sure was nice of Gay Barry to leave his immigrant-free ivory tower to lecture the brothers about voting for her, meaning Kamala. Tell you what, man, Gay Barry. That would be Barack Hussein Barry Soetoro. He operated with an alias. He changed his name to Barry Soetoro because I believe his mother decided she was going to bang Barry Soetoro. I'm sorry, Mr. Soetoro, a communist in, was it Indonesia or Malaysia? Anyways, more communist, no surprise there. His ivory tower. I believe Barry and Michael now have 4 mansions. 4 mansions, and yeah, there's no illegal immigrants anywhere near his mansions. In fact, the Secret Service, the federal government, said no more Secret Service protection for Trump while he's golfing. Meanwhile, when Gay Barry goes golfing, they shut down the entire golf course. They search everyone's vehicles, their bags, their persons, everything and everyone, looking for weapons just in case someone wants to off the fruitcake. Anyways, yeah, he decided he was going to go lecture all the brothers, the black men out there, and shame them. And it did, as Chin Music points out, it backfired spectacularly. The brothers have told him to go punch his own clown. Punch his own clown. And I tell you what, go on Twitter, X. I know it's called X now, but I still say Twitter. Just you can't download the Twitter app. You have to go get X. And I will be posting during the day, through the weekend, through the evenings on X from now on, to reach out and spread through what I'm going to call conservative free speech social media. So I recommend you go to X. I keep wanting to call it Twitter. Go to X, find the Prepared Mind, and follow me there as well. We've got just under, before the show, I had 996 of you following me there. And I need everyone there because we need to spread the word. We need to spread the idea of prepping on X because there's not enough people talking about being prepared. We got a lot of people talking about getting their asses kicked, ruined, destroyed by government, taxes, regulation, violence, everything else. There it is, x.com, My Prepared Mind. Ooh, man, you are the man, dude. I didn't even know he was going to have that ready. All right. Wow. Let's get back to Chin Music's comment there. His super chat donation, if we can. Thank you, Mr. Ooman. You are the man. I tell you. Gay Barry, yeah, they lost all the support. I don't want to say all. An incredible percentage of Black Americans. In fact, I saw several of them say, look, I don't want to be called African American. I am an American American. Right? You can Black American, fine, whatever, but not African. They weren't born in Africa. They're of African descent. I don't call myself a Swedish, Norwegian, German, Danish, Scandinavian, whatever, right? Whatever I could be or am, I just call myself an American. I know where my ancestors came from, right? But anyways, it did spectacularly, right? Okay, so this jackass who hasn't lived the life of, well, the ghetto man, right? He's going to come out and lecture Black people on who they should vote for. And he's going to tell them to vote, literally vote for a Black woman who isn't Black. Unbelievable. Yeah. They told him to fuck off. You should hear it. Go on X if you want to hear. Right? Black Americans go off. They do not like Barry Soetoro, Barack Obama. Good stuff. Thank you, Chin. And expect more of that, folks. Now, every day, I don't go deal with ghetto rats, white and Black, or any other race. I don't deal with them. I deal with people who work their fucking asses off. Whether they're Mexican or Black or from Central America or Cuba, or whether they're from Portugal or Spain or Italy. These people I work with in the trades, they're all hardworking people, and they're good people. I got no problem turning my back on them. I do have a problem, though, turning my back on ghetto rats and scum of any color and ilk. Crazy stuff out there, folks. They will drive down the street and loot your ass in a fucking second, right? It's crazy stuff. We'll talk more about that later. Chin Music, thank you. Mr. Ooman, who's up next? What are we going to do? And it's Old Guy with a $50 super chat donation. He says, hey, he's been a long time lurker trying to keep my head down. That's okay, old guy. We got to, do what you got to for yourself. He says, finally decided, fuck it. Let him come at me. Fuck around, find out. And that is the right attitude that Americans are developing. They're like, you know what? I'm going to say what needs to be said. I'm going to be prepared, Second Amendment style. I'm going to tell the government what I fucking think of them. It's time. It's time, and it's time for another shot, man. $50 super chat, $50 or more means I get a Glenn Levitt, and I'm just floating right there, man. Just right on the edge. Woohoo! Another one. I believe we're the only broadcast, possibly in the world, where you guys buy me a shot of scotch and support this channel, support freedom, support liberty, support the Constitution, support the Declaration of Independence, and support telling government to go fuck itself. Because that's what they need to hear. Semper Fi, old guy. You know, if I just sipped these scotches, if I just sipped them, I wouldn't be able to get through the show. So that's it's like hitting the nitro button, man. But yeah, a lot of people have kept their heads down. They haven't said much. And that's why I really appreciate you, old guy, showing everyone it's time to let them know how we think, what we think, to let them know our Constitution matters. People like Dan the Man Erickson, right? People like Darcy T, like Chin Music, everyone who's got something to say and they say it, right? Then there's a lot of you. I can't remember all the names. Shit, now I'm in trouble. I can't remember everyone who says something, right? Like Boomer's here every time, right? We got people who are every other week, people who are every week, right? You guys are all awesome. Much appreciated, right? We got Blue Cord Devils here all the time. Bonnie Blues in the background. We got a lot of people out there doing stuff. We got Heidi, right? We got lots of support, and we can't do it without you guys. And there's a lot to discuss, folks. I've got a list a mile long, folks. And, you know, the Democrats are full of shit. I told you just a few minutes ago about how I think they could have made it a tighter election by being actually good. But all they do is insult and pander us, right? Joe Biden has been bullshitting America over the weekend about his house burning down. And you know who told that story too? Hurricane victims in Florida, right? Pandering is not empathy. Pandering is just pandering. Trying to let him know, oh, I understand your pain. I feel your pain, right? What an asshole, what a liar Joe Biden is. Joe, we don't want your help, you asshole. We don't want Camel Toes and her lies. They can both go to hell, in my opinion. The rest of 2024, folks, we are going to spend in Florida cleaning up the fucking mess without the shitheads in Washington, D.C. We don't need them. They can keep FEMA out. In fact, FEMA has been lying. Joe's been lying. Kamala's been lying, saying, oh, we're not doing anything wrong. We're not stopping people from getting stuff, from getting supplies and rescue efforts and materials. No. People are continuing reliable, credible reports coming from government and private citizens saying they're trying it. In fact, in Florida, they tried it. Report came out of Florida. FEMA saying, you can't go in and help people. No. You can't send in supply. They're just told, get the fuck out of the way. In fact, Governor DeSantis said they will be arresting FEMA employees if they try it. And there is an investigation down here now on those people for trying to stop Americans from assisting fellow Americans in this great time of need. We all got our asses kicked. We all got fucking hurricaned. It's kind of like, you know, hurricaned. We all got fucking hurricaned. You should see the brush piles topside. Fucking brush piles, trees down, right? A pool not far from my place here had a fucking palm tree in it. Fucking blew into the fucking pool. Just destruction. Oak trees, palm trees, roofs ripped off. Let them come at me. Fuck around and find out. I'm with you 100%. Ooh, man says, come on, man. A small kitchen fire is just as bad as getting wiped out by a hurricane. Yeah. I tell you, folks, I've been through hurricanes, snowstorms, polar vortexes, Arctic blasts, ice storms, blizzards. None of it's fun. None of it's fun. That doesn't make it better, right? I don't, I can empathize with people. I understand the loss, right? Everyone here seeing it firsthand is incredible. The destruction that was visited upon North Carolinians and South Carolinians and Tennesseans. It's tough. It's rough. It's awful. It truly is. Anyways, thank you very much. Let's move on. Mr. Uman, I think we got some more. And we got Eric S. with an Aussie, I believe Australia, $20 super chat donation. And he says, is that, I think it's Aussie, or is that Austria? Which one is it? Is it Aussie, Australia, or Austria?
I think that may be an abbreviation for gold.
It is. We have people in Australia, a lot of them. Well, a picture of Eric there is a picture. He's by the ocean. Not a lot of ocean in Austria. They got a lot of those mountains and shit. So it must be Australia. Anyway, he says, John, I appreciate your dedication to our country. Thank you for all you do. Thanks for all you do. Eric, you say our country. I wish I could do more for Australia and Austria. The socialist, globalist, anti-freedom governments are incredible. And you might be an American living in Austria right now, or Australia. Hopefully Eric put something in the comments and lets us know which. Thank you for your great support. And I love freedom like you can't imagine. When you've had your freedom taken from you, like we did in 2020, when you have someone, a government or crooked, rotten, evil individuals trying to steal money, property, your life, ruin your business, you understand. When you face down evil and you watch someone try and destroy you, and you can see it in their eyes, they're happy about fucking with you. They're destroying your life. They're taking stuff from you, right? Lawyers trying to steal your kids, steal your property, steal your money. You understand. As much as when a hurricane or a snowstorm or a flood or a fucking tornado is destroying you, you understand, right, what is going on. But my biggest threat, my biggest worry, as much as the hurricane tried to kill me and kill all of us in Florida and try and kill people up north as well, these last two hurricanes, it's people I worry about the most. The hurricane did what it did, but Kamala and Joe and FEMA and the federal government, they want to destroy us too. Look what they did. Look what the cocksuckers did with helicopters up in North Carolina, coming down and using rotor wash to scatter supplies, send tents and people flying. People got hospitalized. And they're being investigated for it, and they should. They turn off their transponders while they pull these little stunts. My dedication is to this country because I'm selfish. I want freedom for me, but I can't have freedom for me if everyone else is enslaved and held down and destroyed and kept in a, shall we say, ignorant state of mind. So I want everyone to understand their Constitution. Read it. Read the Declaration of Independence. Everything King George did to colonial Americans is being done today by Washington, D.C., by Brussels, the European Union, by the governments of New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. The entire what we call civilized free world, with the exception of Japan, every country is being destroyed by their own governments. Fuck that. We don't have to put up with it. You don't have to put up with it. Conor McGregor, probably one of the greatest fighters in the UFC. He's a giant dick. He is a testosterone-driven asshole. He is a giant, arrogant fucking dick, but an amazing fighter. He's also an amazing patriot, and he loves Ireland. I hope Conor McGregor runs for a leadership position in government in Ireland. Apparently, he's promising to throw out all of these scumbag foreigners. And folks, they're over. They're in Hamburg, Germany right now protesting, demanding a caliphate, whatever they call it. They want a Muslim government in Hamburg, Germany. How does that make a lick of fucking sense? Germany isn't set up for a caliphate. They're not set up for Sharia law. They're Germans. If you want a caliphate, move back to a shithole Muslim country and get out of our republics. Literally, get the fuck out of our republics. And you and I, Eric, and everyone else, we need to get these anti-freedom assholes out of here. I would love for the United States government to obey the Constitution. I would love to see England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Canada, New Zealand, all of Europe adopt more of our Bill of Rights to guarantee the people's freedoms and liberties and to restrict government to protecting us, not fucking us over. Good God. We got trouble. All right. Eric S. says, I'm an American. Oh, AU is the atomic symbol for gold. I didn't know we could do that. Oh, wait. It's not. The AU20 isn't saying where you're at. I get it. I got you. Shit, I'm an idiot. Right? Yeah, gold. AU is gold. Goldfinger. AU20. Gold it is, man. You're an American. God bless you. Semper Fi, man. That is great. Good stuff. Thank you for helping me get squared away there, Mr. Uman. Always like to keep my shit wired tight. And this hurricane, it checked all the boxes for making sure I was prepared. I think the only thing I didn't have was blueberry muffins. That would have made my mornings better. Some blueberry muffins. But I was a little bit preoccupied with everything else. Getting ready. Boy, what a thing. Anyways, Mr. Uman, who's next? We're at an hour and 57 minutes, and it is Blue Cord Devil with a $50 super chat donation. Woo! That means another scotch for me. Good golly. Right before the end of the show, too. Woohoo! Blue Cord Devil, gonna finish me off tonight. This bottle's about to take a hit here. Semper Fi to you, brother. You've been a great supporter of the show, and I hope you're doing well up here. Prayers and thoughts for lost loved ones. I know they matter still. They always do. God bless America. Man, I tell you, so good. Oh. Got to let off some exhaust there. He says, just got back from North Carolina helping out. I am proud of you, man, for going up there and helping out. That is terrific. You volunteered, you helped people, you saved lives, you gave them heart. He says, helping bring in $30,000 worth of medical supplies. A lot of people have done that, folks. I saw convoys leaving Florida on the news. I saw convoys coming from all different states. That's just a beautiful thing. He says, my team members got power company to get power to a 91-year-old the night before temps were in the 30s. That is wonderful. Yeah, temps in the 30s, though. That is crazy. In mid-October, temperatures dropping down to the 30s up in the Appalachians. Hope you're doing well in your area, John. Well, I tell you what, it's been a little bit cooler lately, and that's kind of been nice. not 90 degrees, 95 degrees. It is October, and even down here in Florida, it's cooling down, but not into the 30s. Blue Cord Devil, really, man, respect for volunteers doing what you do, and it's incredible, folks. That's what Americans do. What is Washington, D.C. doing? As little as possible. They're interfering with, they're obstructing, they're stopping people, they're confiscating the government with what little money they have. What little money they have, the federal government for Americans. They're like, we can't give that to churches and other organizations because we have to be careful just in case there's some transgender, can't do it, man, can't do it. Some transgender illegal aliens, we can't trust them to hand it to them. Folks, I'm sure that even in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia, if some fruitcake person, some dude with a dick and eyelashes and makeup and boobs said, man, I'm really hungry, I need some food and water. Even if they're an illegal alien, I know they will give them food and water. They won't allow them to starve to death or die of dehydration. Give me a fucking break. They may be fruitcakes and illegals. They may get deported ultimately, but they won't starve to death. Thank you. All right. We got more super chats, says man. Let's do it. Who's up next? It is Robin G with a $10 super chat donation. And I think it's been a while, Robin, since you've been on here. No, it says super chat thinks this is my first chat ever and won't let me donate a higher amount. Sorry, but I'll try another chat to follow my comment. I'm pretty sure I remember Robin G being here. She says, I'm in the vicinity of Oklahoma City, OKC. And I've been to OKC, folks. It's okay. She says, which I thought was probably a bit safer here in this big cow town with the plotting against us too close to home makes it harder to sleep at night. Where's the one plotter? Where there's one plotter, there's many more. No one is safe. Oh, I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. Oklahoma City. There's people planning terrorist activity for election day against Trump, against all of us. No place is safe. No town is too small. No town is too rural, right? It's not just Antifa, BLM, and Hamas and Palestinian terrorists. They're not just in Washington, Oregon, and California. They're not just in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Illinois. They're not just in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New York. They're everywhere. Even the reddest of red states. Even Montana has terrorists, folks. They do. No one is safe. You must be prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Now, Robin, and everyone else who's new here or not new here, YouTube will do everything they can to silence you, to shut you up. The only reason they allow me on here is they've already wasted and destroyed enough of their own business. They're not going to kill this channel. They're just going to try and keep us shoved in the corner. That's why I say it's up to us to share the internet address up there. It's up to us to hit the thumbs up. It's up to us to share everything and get people to come here and think. Anyways, Robin, thank you so much. Good to see you. Mr. Uman, who is up next? We're past the 2-hour mark. I'll stay here as long as we got super chat donations. And it's Chin Music, and he's back with another super chat donation, $4.99. He hit the button, and he's daring them. Fuck around and find out. Please, oh, please. And I tell you, folks, after this hurricane, I'm in a mood. And it's FFOF. I'm ready to fist fight or fuck. And there's only one that I'm going to give the fuck to, so everyone else gets the fist fight. Yeah, start it. Bring it. Any of you anti-American communist pieces of shit. Americans are tired Sick and tired of this shit that's going on. We need to shut down the border and then kick these fuckers out. We need to win this election. If we don't win, if the conservatives don't win, if Trump doesn't win and we don't maintain a Republican House and win over a Republican Senate, we're not going to get shit done. You got to have both the House and the Senate and the presidency, and they need to act like fucking Americans. Maggot Mike Johnson needs to go. He is a piece of shit. We need to get him out of the Speaker of the House seat. He is a sellout. He is a globalist. He's been compromised, period. Anyone that doesn't say America first needs to shut the fuck up in Congress and quit because they're being controlled. Anyone that doesn't want to deport all these illegals needs to quit their fucking office and put a real Republican in there. Please, oh please, you bet, man. The fuck around and find out, it's coming. Every day I make sure I carry my personal protective device. Is that a PPD? All right, ooh man, who's up next? We're going long, but we're going deep in it. Holy shit, it's Dan the Man Erickson back. Woo! With a $50 super chat donation, which means I get another Glenn Levitt. And this, all your super chat donations are going to the Prepared Mind Hurricane Recovery Fund. Holy crap. We got some recovering to do here. And hopefully not too many of these at one shot, or I'll be having to do a personal recovery thing. Anyways, hey, Dan, thank you for all your great support. Thank you to all of you. But this one, well, this is another terrific 15-year single malt scotch. Down the hatch, Semper Fi, sir. And God bless America. I start getting lit. It gets a little harder to get those down. Dan says, the country I grew up in is at stake this election. I agree with you. The country I grew up in, where, burn the flag, I'm going to beat your ass. But yeah, go ahead. That's your right. And it's my right to beat your ass. They should both be crimes. Actually, I think defending the flag should not be a crime. Child molesters, they weren't glamorized and glorified by any political party. Nobody made excuses for fruitcakes. We said, hey, fruitcakes, get back in the fucking closet. Shut up. Nobody cares about you guys. You want to be a fruitcake? Fine, get the fuck out of here. That country where we could tell people and call them what they were, fruitcakes, that one's gone, right? Oh, if I say too many bad words at once, I'm bullying. I think they're bullying white Christians, white Americans. They're bullying the fuck out of us, but we can't bully them, right? Anyways, Dan continues. He says, and I did not grow up in their democracy. Damn right, brother. Well, this is a republic. The U.S. Constitution, the Constitution for these United States, created a constitutional republic, not a democracy. A democracy is 5 wolves and 4 sheep voting on who gets to be eaten for dinner. No. Sorry. My rights come from God. All of your rights come from God. Right? It goes God, people. People made the Constitution. The Constitution made the government. The government serves us, the people, way up here. It doesn't go God, Constitution, God, country, who then has a constitution to tell the people what to do. And then the government in that situation goes, let's just get rid of the God. The government's now the God. Sorry, fuck you, government. You are not my God. You don't get to tell me what to do, right? I'm not allowed to hurt other people. I'm not allowed to steal property. Those are crimes. Not allowed to be a criminal. I get that. But beyond that, government can fuck off. They really can. It's not a democracy, right? It's not a democracy. But we've got a long way to go to get away from that kind of thinking where the government can just tell us what to do anytime at once and take our property, take our money, force us to do anything. Are you kidding me? Force me? The country I grew up in, right? Back then, women did not take the cigarette out of their mouth before telling the police officer to kiss her ass, right? Now that my mom never did that. My mom was an angel. But yeah, people used to, you know what? I wasn't speeding. Go fuck yourself, right? Not going to buy your shit, not going to be intimidated, right? Because that's really the face of government that most of us deal with, right? Law enforcement. Now we got a bunch of, well, there's a lot of them that are assholes. Just like there's a lot of people in government. They think that because they have power and authority, they need to exercise it on a regular basis and try hurting people with it. Not good, not right, not the way it should be. No. Public servants, people who work for the government, public servants need to understand they serve us, me, you, the public. They need to be grateful for what they're given, their paycheck. Folks, did you know that 60, 70, 80 years ago, government jobs were shameful? They were. Right? They were low paying, low benefit. You got a job. Basically, it was considered like being on welfare. You got a government job? Not such a great thing. Now, the government takes your money and my money by force from us and gives it to government employees. Gives them the best health care, the best retirement, the best vacations. Right? And then we get what? A fucking 40, 50, 60, 70% overall tax bill to live on? Not good. Democracy sucks. Dan Erickson, you are the man. Thank you. Semper Fi, brother. Always being prepared. Good deal. Uman, I don't know what's going on. I'm having a hard time. Okay, who's next in the world of it's Crunch a Bunch of Candy with a $2 super chat? He said, did Hamas make it? Where fish 2? Where what was that last night?
You're having a tough time keeping up tonight, huh? He's talking about and hecklefish. He wants to know if ham-ass and hecklefish made it.
Oh, hecklefish. The moon landing was fake. I'd say. You know what I want to know? There's that picture of Neil Armstrong coming down the ladder, right?
Yep. In Burbank.
It showed Neil Armstrong and the descent module, right? You got him and the ladder and the descent module, everything, right? Who was taking that picture?
It was magic.
Who took the picture of Neil Armstrong coming down the ladder to step on the moon? I'd like to know.
The whole touchdown and takeoff stuff too.
We won't go down the conspiracy road. I am having a hard time keeping up. It's starting to get to me, man. Anyways.
Oh, you're a long way from being done.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Crunch a Bunch of Candy. Folks, somewhere in there, Crunch a Bunch of Candy. Thank you for the great support. Let's continue. It's 2 hours, 13 minutes. We survived a hurricane. Power's back. Old guy is back with a $50 super chat donation. Holy schnit. I'm going to have a hard time going back to work. I'm going to look like a hurricane wrecked me personally if this keeps up. It's starting to, I'm now over the edge. You know, I thank you, old guy. I'm going to read your comment here in a second. Starting to lose it. He says, been through 3 hurricanes in less than 2 years at ground zero. Where the fuck are you, man? Semper Fi, brother. It's a club. The Survived a Hurricane Club. I've been through now. Five hurricanes. Semper Fi. Oh, woo! Oh man, so smooth. I mean, you can't help but that alcohol, fire. Speaking of fire, I'm not going to light one now. Anyways, old guy says he's been through 3 hurricanes in less than 2 years at ground zero. Never saw FEMA or Red Cross. Helped my neighbors as much as I could and took care of my own shit. And that's really, really where we're at. In Florida, where I'm at, I don't hear anyone begging for FEMA. The only thing I've heard is people are like, we need gas, gasoline. We need electricity. That's great. And make sure the water and sewer is working, and we'll figure the rest out ourselves. People who are right on the water are required to have FEMA flood insurance, which is different than regular FEMA, is my understanding. Wow, my head, little buzz going on now. Little buzz. Anyways, man, old guy, you're the man. There's more coming, folks. If they can control hurricanes, they can control Arctic blasts. On the West Coast, they can control the Pineapple Express, which has now been renamed an atmospheric river. They can control it all, folks. It's the potential is awful. Anyways, old guy, thank you very much. Who's next? Who's next? What do we got? We Crunch a Bunch of Candy is back with a $2. He says blueberry muffin, freeze-dried, saltwater taffy. Order now. That sounds really damn good. Crunch a Bunch of Candy.myshopify.com. Did I say crunch a bunch of candy.myshopify.com? Thank you, Crunch a Bunch of Man. Blueberry muffins sound really good. Tomorrow when I go out, I've got enough gas to drive around. I don't know who else has electricity and who doesn't. It's really hit and miss. Hit and miss. When I got power back, got internet back, I kind of checked around. Some people got power and lost power. Some people still don't have power. It's a mess. We're along the West Coast here from I think even Naples, took a bit of a smacking, but certainly from Fort Myers north, we all got chewed up here between Helene and Milton. Milton, what a stupid name, huh? Anyways, folks, got to get prepared. Who's next? Who is next on the Prepared Mind channel? And Robin G sent another donation via PayPal. Thank you, Robin G. And 100 smackaroos. Tell John to get some blueberry muffins. I tell you what, Robin, blueberry muffins sound good. I like those little crunchy crumble things there, and they're delicious. Yes, blueberry muffins, and thank you genuinely for this $100 super chat donation through PayPal, because we got PayPal, Venmo, CashApp, and the preparedmind.club, as well as the super chat button here. There's a number of different ways that you guys have been supporting the channel, supporting the message, supporting freedom, liberty, constitution, nation, etc., etc., etc. And Mr. Uman, where do we go next on the Prepared Mind channel? We're in overtime, and it's this pink. When I see pink, I know it's time to drink. Pink means drink. And I'm a more qualified rhymer than Dr. Seuss. Oh, and here we go. I am going to sleep like a baby. And if the hurricane winds pick up again, I'll still sleep through it. It's not going to affect me at all. I'm safe in the bunker. Folks, I love you all. Thank you for all the great support. This Semper Fi. God bless America. One more. It's really good. I mean, this is good. And the hangovers I get from Sunday Night Live are hangovers of love. You guys are awesome. And thank you, Blue Cord Devil. Oh Obama. So he says, my team was from another YouTuber, Vets Talking. That is awesome. We are an all veteran team that went this time. What he's talking about is going to take hurricane relief supplies into the Carolinas. He says, we are looking to set up a QRF for the next time so we can respond in 24 to 48 hours. I tell you what, man, the thing is how could you know? How could anyone know that a hurricane was going to go that far inland and absolutely dump and destroy the Appalachians? Now, I did catch a thing that I think back in 1906, they had a similar big storm that took out a lot of low-lying areas, but this was just crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I heard someone that said Duke Energy, that's in charge of one dam, right, was letting water loose, and that helped contribute. But I think the fear is that the dam was going to be destroyed by so much water hitting it all at once that would have caused both the flood water and all of the water in the reservoir to take out even more. It's, folks, how do you plan for this? You can't know. The nice part about hurricanes is you typically get several days, but you don't know exactly where they're going to go or how people are going to be impacted. Unless, it's an area that always faces it, right? The Gulf Coast, the Atlantic seaboard, there's hurricanes a lot, but inland. So I think it's wonderful. Kudos to Vets Talking. Semper Fi to you guys for getting it out there and getting together and collecting supplies and taking supplies. I really hope that the active duty Marines do a Toys for Tots drive like you've never imagined, and go in there and really help bring and continue to bring support. And it's the kids that bother me probably the most, even more than our elders out there, is children and them having to live through something like this. But folks, and I don't want to sound mean, but there's countries around the world like Ukraine, Eastern Ukraine, former Eastern Ukraine, where kids are subjected to these bad things all the time because governments want to fight. They want to steal. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. And I'm glad that you put together a veteran team, an all veteran team, and good luck with everything. And Blue Cord Devil, Semper Fi, brother. Man. Let's continue. And we've got Eric, who's an American, and he's a gold man with another $20 super chat. And this comes up. Hey, when Republicans are asked whether or not Trump won or lost the 2020 election, they appear to dodge the question. How should they answer this question? Well, I think they should answer, and I'm going to be honest with you, Eric. I believe everyone, whether independent, Democrat, Republican, I think they should answer 100% from their knowledge honestly. I 100% believe Trump won the 2020 election. In my opinion, and I believe this, the evidence overwhelmingly demonstrates that there was cheating with the electronic voting machines, there was cheating with the ballot harvesting, there was cheating. Absolute election fraud at the ballot counting stations. Nevada, I almost said New Mexico, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina. I believe Pennsylvania had a lot of cheating. I mean, they cheat everywhere, Democrats do. But where it mattered, right? Where it mattered. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan were It was awful. Everyone should answer the question honestly and stop fucking lying to themselves. It is now evident also from the actions taken in Washington, D.C. by Nancy Pelosi, by the government, by the police, by the FBI. The FBI has now admitted that they had 100 or more FBI agents, undercover agents, informants, people that they hired. Once you're working for the FBI, you're part of the FBI. In that crowd, causing problems. The videos came back up of people dressed like Antifa, taking their clothes off in the bushes to reveal Trump-supporting clothes. What the fuck were they doing there? They were there. People talking on sophisticated walkie-talkies in the crowd. Government operatives, in my opinion, wearing, you can see they put pieces of tape on themselves. They put an armband on. They do different things to identify themselves. That was done to create havoc so they could say Trump is an evil person. He's trying to commit an insurrection, which is a fucking lie. That's exactly how they should do it, Eric. Be fucking honest. Just come out. It's too late. The fucking 4 years are over. You stole the fucking election. Admit it. Admit it was stolen. J.D. Vance has now come out and he's basically said, yeah, right? He was like, I don't support Trump. Now he's his VP. What did he learn? When did he learn it? And why is he so convinced now? Enough to be his running mate. Even with Trump having taken a bullet, had 2 other gunmen and a fucking pipe bomber try and get him. J.D. Vance should know he's in the crosshairs too. I'm telling you, answer the question with honesty, integrity, and truthfully. Bam. Thank you, Eric, very much. Man, what do we got? Hey, it's Boomer. Boomer is back. Boomer is back. And he's got a $20. I believe that's Canadian Super Chat donation. Anyways, he says, Boomer says, was on a live talk show 2 days ago, and I mentioned that due to increased criminality, homes are now being raided. Trump at his rally in Colorado during the same day said the same. Yeah, homes are getting home invasion robbery. Entire apartment complexes are being overrun and taken over. And the governor of Colorado, what a chicken shit. The governor of Colorado was trying to say it ain't that bad. When someone threatens you and demands money out of you, that is that bad. And to say that the police took care of it, really? I think the Venezuelan gangs are still in charge there. Not good. I think it's wild that Trump actually went to Aurora, Colorado. I think basically to let them know I'm not afraid of you guys either. Not afraid of you guys either. Holy shit. I want to end the show with this. And this shouts loudly. And it shouts to the fact of who is patriotic and who is not. Donald Trump has now been endorsed by more than a dozen Congressional Medal of Honor winners. That's military veterans who, through an act of incredible bravery, have earned the Medal of Honor. Folks, they honored Donald Trump by endorsing him, knowing that he's not going to take us fruitlessly to war or abandon troops and Americans and allies. No Democrat gets this type of honor and endorsement from real heroes. President Trump is, and I think that's admirable. And I think these Medal of Honor winners are incredible and continue to live and will live incredible lives. Many Medal of Honor winners, folks, are awarded it posthumously, meaning in an act of bravery and defiance of evil, fighting for the country, they die. And that's how they're honored. These are living Medal of Honor winners. And Uman says, you can't make this shit up. 556 super chat donation. And he says the Postal Service, I believe it's their union, endorsed the cackling candidate known as Kamala. Yes, they did. And the union for the IRS endorsed Kamala. Is this not a conflict of interest for mail-in voting? I believe it is. I don't know why or how an organization that is the government can select a candidate to endorse, whether it's a fucking union or the bureaucracy itself. Folks, it's crazy time. It is crazy time. You need to be prepared with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and means of self-defense. I want to thank all of you, each and every one of you, for coming to the show, sharing. Sharing is caring. Share this internet address and go to thepreparedmind.club. If you need anything, at least shop around, see what we have, and buy it anywhere. You don't have to buy it from, you just click a link and it'll take you to their store. We don't have a store proper. There's no warehouse full of stuff that we have. We're not making money that way, right? You guys support us directly. Guerrilla warrior patriotic funding. That's what we have here, and you guys do it. Thank you so much for all you do. I'm going to try and be back 0 dark 30. We could lose power. We could lose internet again. I don't know what to expect. I want to be back. I want to be back. Well, I don't want to say bright and early because it'll be dark and early. 0 dark. Also, one more time. Not only deplorable coffee, but go to X, which used to be Twitter, and follow the Prepared Mind there. I'm going to be trying to build that as a means to continue to spread our message of liberty and preparedness. Liberty and preparedness, right? Makes victory. Victory. Anyways, Mr. Uman, thank you. Thank you to all, one and all. God bless America. Semper Fi. And I'll see you guys soon.